Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream. We are back in the mix. I'm back. I've been away for a few days. Well, 5-6 days. We're back. We're here. Lots to dive into, guys. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here. Get involved in the chat, people. You lot know exactly what to do. And yeah, there's plenty to dive into as always. Surprise links with Chelsea and Leroy Sane. Coming out last night. We've also got news that Chelsea are reportedly in the race to sign Feyenoord centre-back David Hancko. Plus, we've also got all the latest on other bits and pieces, including Chelsea's plan to hand Moises Caicedo a new contract. Would be thoroughly deserved. The Athletic saying that Chelsea aren't planning to sign a new goalkeeper right now, and we've got the plans for the midfield as well as all the race for the top five, all that stuff. And of course, any questions you lot have got in the chat. It's good to be back in the mix, guys. Big yourselves up. We're here. We're locked in. Let's say hello to a few people, and then we're going to get this show on the road. Sane, no-brainer, as brings experience and quality, is much better than all the wingers we have. Fair. I hear it. Yeah, these players I want now get Champions League. We get good players for sure. Yeah, look, for sure, you know, the targets, I think, we'll be able to get better players with the Champions League football on offer, but I don't think we'll struggle to sign players if we aren't in the Champions League. It's just the quality perhaps won't be quite as good. We need experience in this team, can help us challenge for the title. Yeah, I mean, let's rein in the title talk, but yeah, experience will definitely help and make us better. Stay away from Sonny because of his attitude. The attitude thing about players always gets me, right? Because one, you don't really know where this comes from. And secondly, none of us know these players. None of us know John Duran as a person or a character. None of us know Leroy Sane as a person or a character. Yet we have people out here, you know, and reports saying, you know, they're concerned about the attitude and things like that. I'm just kind of thinking, well, how bad is the attitude? The guy's been at Bayern Munich for years. Like, is the attitude really that bad? Yeah, speak yourself out. I'm all good, bro. I'm all good, refreshed, recharged. And yeah, we're back for a big end to the season. Shock the world at Newcastle and beat them. Then we are one win. Yeah, look, I think for me, just on this, before we get into the transfer stuff, guys, 3 games remaining. We need 6 points to guarantee. 6 points to guarantee. Obviously, if we beat Newcastle and Man United, it's done. However, the most important thing for us is do not lose against Newcastle. But then, having said that, I even think we could be in a position where we could lose against Newcastle, but then as long as we win our final 2 games, we'll still get in. Yes, big up. Nah, bro, I'm doing it on TikTok now. I'm trying to grow my following on TikTok. So yeah, I am doing the vlogs on TikTok, guys. So if you want to check me out on TikTok, let me know and I'll drop the link in the chat. Predicted a 3-1 win against Liverpool. Pat yourself on the back, brother. Well done. Agreed. It's about time Caicedo signed a new contract. Yep. I mean, Rodrigo, I don't see it happening. Leao, no. Chelsea keep getting links with Nico Williams, right? And he keeps being named on the shortlist. Britso calling him a dream target. Ornstein saying he's on the list. And I'm just like, in what world are we paying Nico Williams wages? We're just not. I think we should focus on Newcastle first. Agreed. We have to beat Newcastle and do not lose. Yeah, look, I think it's important we don't lose that game. Definitely important we don't lose that game. But if we were to lose that game, the most important thing is that it's still in our hands and it doesn't boot us out of the Champions League. It just means we have to win our last 2 games. I don't want to leave it to the last game. A draw to Newcastle will still leave it to the last day. It would, but the last day we'd just have to go there and not lose rather than having to go there and win. So yeah, different things. But yeah, anyway, let's dive into this transfer stuff, people, because you know the transfer news, as I've said before, seems to be gathering steam earlier and earlier this year, earlier and earlier. But we're here, and we have it here. Leroy Sane's partner, Candice Brooke, is also behind the recent switch of agents. She's a big fan of London and would love to live there with Leroy and their kids. Arsenal and Chelsea are said to be interested. Pinny Zahavi has excellent contacts with the London clubs. Now, I'm pretty certain that Leroy Sane has been in talks over a new contract at Chelsea. Sorry, not at Chelsea. Fucking, I'm all over the place. At Bayern Munich, I'm pretty sure Leroy Sane's been there's definitely been talks with Leroy Sane and a new contract. Now, correct me if I'm going mad, guys. Is Sane? Will Sane be a free? Would he be a free? But again, here, apparently Bayern have given Leroy Sane a deadline of 10 days. He either signs the current offer or it will be withdrawn and he will have to leave. No signing fee, no improved offer. Bayern are firm. Now, I like Leroy Sane. He was very, very good at Man City. But at Bayern Munich, has he really lived up to expectations? Now, if we look at his stats, right, and it's always a bit of a concern when potentially the girlfriend is driving the move. Like, and this is what people need to realize as well, that family and stuff in these moves is a big, big thing. You know, the London lifestyle is a draw. That there's no doubt about it. You know, players want to live in London. Certainly their partners, girlfriends, wives, whatever they are, they're attracted to that London lifestyle as well. So that's definitely a factor to play in there. But I wouldn't want Leroy Sane to potentially join Chelsea just because his partner wants to live in London. I'm not keen. I'm not keen on that being the case at all. Wages, again, would be a problem. Now, I have a feeling on this, right? Because we talk about super agents, you know, Jorge Mendes, Penny Zahavi is another one. Obviously, has good contacts with Chelsea, with Arsenal. I think Sane still has a lot to offer in the Premier League, but it almost feels like his move. He was very, very good at Man City. I think he was great at City, but he gets the big move back to Germany, back to Bayern Munich, and it's not really happened to him for him. But then you look at his stats, guys. You look at his stats. I mean, Sane's 29 years old. You could bring him in on a 3-year contract and you definitely get some decent, you know, a bit of decent output from him. Plus, you know, he'd be an experienced player with that winning mentality. And, you know, the younger players, the younger wingers certainly could learn a thing or two from him. But then you look at Sane's stats. 218 games, 61 goals, 54 assists. So it's 115 GNA in 218 games at Bayern. Now, I don't know. Is that shit? I don't think that's terrible. That's not terrible. But at 29 years of age, would he be another Raheem Sterling type? Or can he be a player to come in and make an impact and sort of raise the level? I agree with Martin in the chat. He's not really a needle mover. I think that's absolutely correct. He's not particularly a needle mover. Is he better than what we've got? It's tricky, that, isn't it? Is he better than what we've got? Is he better than Pedro Neto? Is he better than Jadon Sancho? Is he better than Madueke? Is he better than Esteban? Is he better than Tyreek George? Those are the 5 wingers we've got right now. By the way, I think Sane is more than good enough to play a part in the Chelsea squad. But again, I personally don't see this happening based on the wages and also based on the fact that how many good years could you realistically get out of Leroy Sane at Chelsea? This is what I'm a little bit unsure on. You know, how many decent years could you get out of Sane at Chelsea? I don't think Sane would be particularly missed. But again, we got this article here from the Bayern Munich insider Christian Falk. Leroy Sane could find himself returning to England despite having been close to a contract extension in Munich. The German international had agreed a salary reduction in order to extend his stay at the Allianz Arena. However, the winger had crucially not put pen to paper on the agreement ahead of switching agents to the renowned Penny Zahavi. FC Bayern are now forced to start over negotiations with Sane. We have heard that Leroy Sane would like to move to London if an agreement with Bayern collapses. His new agent is keen to restart negotiations and wants to open talks with the club. The German champions, however, have already made their position clear. They don't want to increase the agreed salary of 10 million euros a year plus 5 in bonuses. The initial offer was 8 million in base. He currently earns 15 million plus 5 in bonuses. So that puts Leroy Sane, according to Capology, which has been referenced in this website, that currently puts Leroy Sane on 288,000 euros per week. 288,000 euros a week. That is mental. Where is the link from? It's from Bild, a German publication, and then there's a Bayern Munich insider called Christian Falk who has got pretty good contacts with the club. And this is the same stuff that Bild had said. He's saying here, Sane's girlfriend already spends most of her time in London with their children and wants to return to England. The 29-year-old's former agent from 11 Wins had previously spoken to Arsenal. Zahavi will knock on the door and check to see if that is still possible, still a possible opportunity for his client. Leroy Sane can also imagine life with Chelsea. However, a move appears somewhat unlikely in light of the fact the Blues are committed to a philosophy of buying young. Even Zahavi's good relationship with the club won't be able to change this. So it kind of looks like what we've got here, people. It sort of seems like Chelsea's name is being put in there because Sane's girlfriend wants to move back to London and Chelsea are looking for a winger this summer. And so they've kind of put 2 and 2 together and come up with this, which fair. I hear it. But what I would say is that I think this is highly unlikely to happen, guys. But, you know, it's Chelsea have been mentioned. So there we are. I mean, no, I wouldn't rather see Garnacho. I'd rather see neither of them, to be perfectly honest. I'd rather see neither of them, if we're being brutally honest here. But yeah, that's where we are. I mean, he wants hard-working wingers. I mean, Madueke's definitely improved his work rate. Could potentially help us in the Champions League, but we need to get there first. So, yeah, look, Leroy Sane, obviously, he's apparently been given an ultimatum by Bayern. The offer's on the table. It's not changing, sign it or leave. That is the ultimatum for Leroy Sane and Bayern Munich. But yeah, Chelsea's name's been mentioned, but I see that as very, very, very unlikely. And talking of other links, report last night coming out from the Netherlands, going to the other end of the pitch. Where is it? Oh, here we go. That Chelsea are apparently in the race to sign Feyenoord centre-back David Hancko. And this is in a Dutch publication. Let's see what this is saying. Now, of course, David Hancko is in his final weeks as a Feyenoord player. The defender is attracting interest from a large number of clubs, and apparently Al Nassr have made contact with Feyenoord. The Saudi club is planning to offer an amount that could break Santiago Jimenez's club record. Besides the Saudis, there are other clubs with far-reaching interest. Atletico Madrid. There's also concrete interest on the Premier League. Chelsea and West Ham want to work on the arrival of the defender. On Sunday, during the match against PSV, a delegation from a top German club was in the stands with the aim of being able to do business. The question is whether the European clubs can and want to compete financially with Al Nassr, where Hancko himself can earn the most. Feyenoord await the bids and know one thing for sure: Hancko will leave in the summer and will earn the club a mega transfer fee. Now, Hancko is actually quite decent. Hancko is decent. He's 27 years old. He would tick the experience box. I don't know. He's got Champions League experience. He's got a lot of first-team experience. He's got leadership qualities. I'm pretty sure he's the Feyenoord skipper as well. He's 27 years old. Leadership qualities. I don't think he cost an absolute fortune. this does tick quite a few boxes. There's no denying that. This does tick quite a few boxes, guys. I wouldn't be dead against it. Again, are we linked with any left backs? Yeah, Jarrell Hato. We're linked with Jarrell Hato, who is predominantly a left back, but can also play centre back. So it would work if we inverted from the right hand side. Hato could play as a left centre back in the 3 in possession. But yeah, in terms of out and out left backs, Hato is really the only one that we've been linked with. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Let's get rid of Fofana, Disasi, and Badiashile. Well, Disasi will go. Fofana, there were some weird stories about Marseille again, and then at Chelsea might be prepared to let him go. I still personally don't believe that. Yeah, Huijsen again is someone we're obviously very keen on. But he's going to obviously make his decision soon. But we are keen on Dean Huijsen for sure. There's no denying that. Mark Guehi's another one. So you're looking at Guehi, Huijsen, Hancko reportedly, Jarrell Hato, Jared Branthwaite's another one who's potentially on the shortlist as well. What about the academy kid? Yeah, I mean, Ish Samuel Smith, like he signed a new long-term contract a couple of weeks ago, right? He's not made his first team debut yet. Why would you offer him the new long-term contract with no intentions of using him? You know, you could save yourself a chunk of cash and promote Ish Samuel Smith, but then Jarrell Hato, over 100 appearances for Ajax. He's only 19, but he's got a lot of first-team experience. He's got European experience, Champions League, Europa League. You know, yes, he's 19, but he is someone that does come in with a wealth of experience, despite his young age. So yeah, it's an interesting one, Hato. But I mean, look, this is definitely the first links I've seen with Chelsea and Hancko. Hancko will make a very good signing for someone. He'll make a very good signing for someone, David Hancko. You know, he'd make a very good signing for someone. I'm just not sure if it's the sort of business that Chelsea should look to go and do. So I don't know. It would make sense. For me, it would be smart business. It would be smart business. He won't cost a fortune. I mean, let's have a look at what he's done. Let's have a look at what he's done this season, guys. Let's have a look at what he's done this season. David Hancko. So he's 27. He'll be 28 in December. He's got 50 caps for Slovakia. He is out of contract in 2028, so he's still got 3 years on his contract. He's a centre-back who actually can play a little bit of left-back, but that's not really that important. He's made 44 appearances in all comps this season, 4 goals, 4 assists. Yeah, guy, he brings plenty of experience. 50 caps at international level. He brings some height. He's 1.88 m, so he brings some height to the back line as well. This wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, guys. This absolutely would not be the worst thing in the world. Chelsea could do a lot worse than sign him. Let's have a look at other links then, because Dean Huijsen, decision time has got to be soon with Dean Huijsen. You know, there's 3 games left this season. Huijsen stock's rising. He's doing really well. He scored against Arsenal at the weekend. And there's been a little update from Pice on Dean Huijsen. Bro, the Dutch league's not terrible, though. I think there's this idea that signings from the Dutch league are shit. They're not. Luis Suarez came from the Dutch league. Dirk Kuyt came from the Dutch league. Who else has come from the Dutch league? Ryan Babel. I'm trying to think of more recent ones. Like, the Dutch league is not dreadful for signings, by the way. It absolutely isn't dreadful for signings. I'm not saying it's like an unbelievable league and it's the standard, But it's way better than what a lot of people give it credit for. A lot better than people give credit for. Yeah, Noni was in the Dutch league as well. Ziyech did well. Gakpo, Gravenberch, Timber. Exactly. Anthony. Anthony's not worked out particularly well for Man United, but he's doing very well at Real Betis. Kudus. Like, this idea that the Dutch league is poor for signings is just not true. A lot of good quality does come from the Dutch league. I'm not saying it's like the hallmark of everything, but there is a lot of good quality in the Dutch league. So I don't think we should just turn our noses up at players because of the league that they play in. By the way, guys, over 70 in the building. Please smash that like button. We're only on 35 likes. Let's get this up over 50 likes, guys. Simple as that. Run those likes up and subscribe as well if you're new round here. So Hancko, I think we could do a lot worse. But let's bring up this Dean Huijsen update. Let's bring up the Huijsen update. So Chelsea are working hard on Dean Huijsen behind the scenes and keep pushing. He's the #1 centre-back target. Enzo Maresca has asked for experienced players and not so young recently to help push for titles next season. But the answer is that the status quo hasn't and will not change. Shock. Chelsea are only prepared to move the needle on their model if an unmissable world-class player comes onto the market and is realistic that said player would want to join us, which they don't believe has yet happened since the takeover. The problem I've got with this, right, is that it's all chat. Chelsea are only prepared to move the needle if an unmissable world-class player comes onto the market. The problem is their definition of unmissable world-class player is probably very, very different to what the fans' definition would be. This idea that we're just not prepared to shift at all from what we're doing, I'd be lying if that wasn't a concern, because it's absolutely a major concern. It's a major, major concern, people. And I don't think people realise how big a concern it is. Because Maresca's now started to call for more experienced players. Everyone knows we need more experienced players. And, they've said, we've had reports coming out saying, oh, yeah, they're prepared to break the wage structure. They're prepared to bring experience in if it's the right player. They need to be going and targeting the top players. Go and target the top players. Don't give it the chat that you're going to do it and then sign a 20-year-old, a couple of 20-year-olds and a 22-year-old. Don't give me that rubbish, because right now it's all chat. Go and try and sign Victor Osimhen. Go and try and sign Victor Gyökeres. Do you know what? If these guys say no, okay, it's a bit shit, but you've tried and you've shown intent. Don't just put this information out there and then don't go and try and sign any players like you've said you'd be prepared to do. It's bullshit. It's just see-through nonsense, as always, that we get from the club. Yes, of course, these younger players are going to get more experienced and whatnot, of course. But if you look at Chelsea's defensive line, and you said to me, what is wrong with the defence right now? I would say, as many Chelsea fans would say, we lack leadership and experience and a leader of the back line. So why on earth is our top centre-back target a 20-year-old with 1 season of Premier League experience? Someone please explain that to me. And this is not me having a go at Dean Huijsen. I like Dean Huijsen. I think he's a very good player, lots of potential, could go on to become a top centre-half. But why, when it's obvious what the problem is at the back, how does a 20-year-old with 1 season of Premier League experience at Bournemouth address the issues you've got at the back? He's not going to come in and lead the back line. Who is he learning from? And how is he going to get better at Chelsea when he's not got any experience or leaders to learn from? So someone please make that make sense. Someone please make it make sense, because the math's not mathing here. The math is not mathing, people. I'm I'm a little bit confused about what's going on right now. Why? You know, if it's Huijsen plus one more and their experience, if it's Huijsen plus Hancko, if it's Huijsen plus Gurhey, no problem. But my big question here is, why is the top centre-back target not someone with experience and leadership qualities? Why is the top centre-back target not someone like that, and Dean Huijsen is the alternative? Why is it the other way around? That's what I'm not understanding, and that's why I'm concerned about this summer. That's why I'm concerned about this summer. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Our top centre-back target should be Gurhey or Tar. I mean, Gurhey's definitely high up on the list. There's no doubt about that. Mark Gurhey is 100% high up on the list. Sign Huijsen if you're good enough, you're old enough. No, what you're misunderstanding, bro, is that we have no leadership at the back. There's no one that leads the back line. There's no standout quality player. And chucking a 20-year-old in there with 1 year of Premier League experience is not addressing the issues at hand. Do you see Chelsea signing 2 centre-backs instead of a left wing? No, look, I think we should sign 2 centre-backs, but that's going to depend on how many centre-backs leave this summer. But I think we should sign 2 centre-backs, and we should sign one winger as well. But again, I've not seen anything in any of the reports saying that Chelsea are going to be going for more than 1 centre-back. But you just never know. We consider the 3rd least amount of goals, and that too without having a total DM protection in front of the centre-backs. Yeah, look, the defensive record has not been bad this season. Not been bad. It's not about experience, it's about quality. Huijsen's got 1 cap for Spain, bro. He's not starting for Spain at the moment. He's played 1 game for them. Yes, he's got quality, and yes, he's going to go on and probably have a good career, hopefully. But Huijsen is nowhere near the finished article. And saying he starts for Spain is disingenuous. He's got 1 cap. He's got 1 cap. So he started 1 game for Spain. We can't be calling him a starter for Spain because he started 1 match. I imagine he's learning from Zabarnyi, Zabarnyi's a bit older. Yeah, Zabarnyi's definitely a little bit older, for sure. The moment Resca puts Lavia and Caicedo, our centre-backs look great. Yeah, because there's more protection in the midfield. You've got Caicedo inverting. You've got Lavia and Caicedo in front of the back line, which makes a massive, massive difference. I don't know if Huijsen is the best centre-back on the market. He's definitely one of the top centre-backs on the market. There's no denying that. Absolutely, I agree that there's no denying that he's one of the best centre-backs on the market. But I wouldn't say he was the top centre-back on the market. So, yeah, it's tricky. Experience without quality is useless. Bring me Huijsen, too good to pass up on. We have got quality at the back. You know, Wesley Fofana. I know he's not always fit, but he is top quality in my opinion. Would you go for Fofana and Huijsen? I mean, look, Fofana and Huijsen in theory doesn't sound like a bad partnership. But I would wonder if a Fofana and Gurhey partnership would be better for Chelsea. I don't know. This time last year, no one had even heard of the geezer. No, I mean that is a fair point as well. But again, you know, things change in football. Players come up. They have a quick rise, and right now, Huijsen's stock is hot. It's high. You know, he'll be a starter from now on. Maybe he will be. Look, I never said that I'm desperate to sign Liam Delap as a first choice target. I would take him, but he shouldn't be a first choice striking target in my opinion. Do we need another DM as backup for Lavia? Bro, we've got Asugu coming and Andre Santos is coming back in. No, we don't need to sign any more midfielders. Well, he's going to be 50 million. He's leaving Bournemouth this summer. He's got a 50 million pound release clause. And yeah, we go from there. Santos coming. Yeah, Santos coming back. I don't think Fofana will be sold. I think Fofana will be given at least one more season. That's how I view it. I think Fofana will be given one more season. And then, yeah. What about Gerhi and Hancko as two centre-backs? Gittins swapped with Carney and Osimhen, or two striker of maybe David and Delap for a realistic alternative. Petrovic and Santos back with Vega's going to go. I think Vega will go. Gittins swap with Carney. I don't see that happening. Osimhen's not going to come. I would say that David and Delap is far more realistic than Victor Osimhen coming. Far more realistic than Victor Osimhen coming. So yeah, we wait and see. But look, obviously we're pushing hard. They're desperate to get rid. Yeah, of course they are. Of course they're desperate to get rid of Trev. Trev, in my opinion, should be in the squad. It's very, very simple. Trev should be in the squad, but he won't be. Trev won't be in the squad because they're desperate to try and sell him. They've been desperate to sell him. I don't really know what else Trev has to do to prove that he's good enough to stay at the football club. You know, what else does he have to do? If he wasn't from the academy, there's no conversations about him leaving. You know, there's no conversations about him leaving at all. It really is as simple as that in my mind with him. But yeah, look, Huijsen's obviously the main target. We can argue all day. We can argue all day about whether it's the right sign to make or not. Chelsea are made him their number one target. They've made it clear. And they're going to do whatever it takes to try and get him. Now it's about convincing him and making sure he's the right person to come in. I mean, Reece James is captain, but obviously Enzo's like vice captain, or what he's part of the leadership group they have these days. If we get Champions League, we would get embarrassed in the league phase of this current squad. Potentially, we would be. Huijsen is better than Colwell. It's not about if he's better than Colwell. It's that isn't the question that's being asked here. It's just for me personally, I don't see how signing a 20-year-old with a year's experience in the Premier League addresses what we lack at the back. We don't lack young, inexperienced players with talent. We don't lack those in the squad, and we don't lack those defensively. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused, really, as why the powers that be at Chelsea would look at the defence and think we need another young defender to come in. That's the only issue I've got with it. That's the only bit that I don't understand. Are there any experienced centre-backs in the market? We could have had Hummels last season on a free. I mean, look, you got... No, look, I'm not set, but look, guys, I'm not saying that Huijsen is bad. None of my issues with Dean Huijsen are quality related. None of my issues with Huijsen are quality related. Let me just make that abundantly clear if it wasn't already clear. None of my issues with Dean Huijsen, guys, are quality related. Murillo from Forest would be a great signing. Got injured last night, which could be good for us this season. Look, Murillo signed a new contract at Forest. I think he'll stay one more season, and then I think next summer Murillo would be available. But we might not need another centre back next summer. Who knows what's going on right now? Sell Badia, Shield, Tosin, Disasi. We must keep Chalobah. Yeah, look, I would agree on those three. I would absolutely agree on those three. Get rid of those three centre backs, and you get maybe two in. But then again, what's the plan? What's the plan for Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg? Are you going to loan him back to Strasbourg for another season if they're in Europe? Is that going to even be an option if we both qualify for the Champions League? We're both in the same European competition. We could be fucked. But yeah, chat, make sure you're smashing the likes as well. We're almost 100 in the building. We haven't even reached 50 likes. Come on, chat. Let's bump this up, chat. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Heading towards 17k now, people. So every new subscriber does really help. So let's run the subscribers up and keep smashing that like button, people. It's free and it takes seconds to do. So please run those likes up, guys. I would be hoping to go to next season with Colwell, Chalobah, Fofana, Tosin, and Huijsen. I mean, look, that's not a dreadful 5. If it was down to me personally, I'd be looking to go with Colwell, Chalobah, Fofana, Gurhi, and Huijsen. That would be my 5. Vega's going to be sold. I'm almost certain Vega will be sold. We still need a reliable keeper. We do. Yeah, look, Tosin is apparently, really important behind the scenes at Chelsea. Fair enough, I guess. But that's not a reason really to keep a player. But yeah, I mean, Tosin, there could well be offers for Tosin this summer. We need experience in our team. I agree with Charlie. We don't need more kids. I don't get the fan base wanting more youngsters. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Because fans will rightfully kick off about being linked with more youngsters until it's a youngster they like, and then it's fine. That's the funny thing here. That's the funny thing, because Huijsen's kind of flavour of the month right now. It's like, oh yeah, we're fine with it. But if it's someone they don't like, then it's a problem. Yeah, 100%. You need experience. Like it's an absolute no-brainer. If you're in the Champions League, you have to have experience. You have to. No one knew about 16-year-old Jamal. I think people did. I mean, obviously not in as wide a context as they do now. Who's going to Strasbourg next season? I would say Paez, Matisse Mugu, and maybe Mike Penders. Yeah, Tar wouldn't be a bad signing either. I agree on that, bro. Tar wouldn't be a bad signing. Wouldn't be a bad signing at all. But I think he's probably going to go to I think he's probably going to. There's strong links with Tar and Barcelona, so we'll wait and see on that one. But yeah, I think, yeah, I would. I mean, never say never, but I would probably rule Chelsea out on Jonathan Tah. But that's the sort of signing you should potentially be looking at making. But yeah, I would rule us out of Jonathan Tah. I would definitely rule us out on Jonathan Tah. What was I going to move on to next? Let me quickly find it. Yes, big up. Oh yeah, goalkeepers. According to The Athletic and Simon Johnson, guys, Chelsea are not planning to sign another goalkeeper for now. That means a decision will be made between Sanchez, Petrovic, Jorgensen, and Penders, with the latter most likely to be sent on loan. So I think it's obvious, people, that Penders is going to be sent on loan, and then one of Petrovic, Jorgensen, or Sanchez is going to be sold. Now, I don't think Jorgensen's going to be sold after just one season. So it's basically Petrovic or Sanchez. Now, obviously, there's going to be a much bigger market for Petrovic. Obviously, he's had a very good season at Strasbourg. Chelsea spent, I think, 14 million quid on Petrovic. So 100%, we'd double our money on him at least. I think he get 30 million for Petrovic. So that's obviously going to be very attractive to Chelsea and this ownership. We know that. The right decision is to get rid of Robert Sanchez. The issue with that is, who on earth is buying Robert Sanchez? Who is buying Sanchez? That's the question we need to be asking ourselves here. Where is the market for Sanchez? Who would even want him? Oh no, absolutely. He's had some good games this season, and he's been useful the last couple of weeks. No denial, but that doesn't change the bigger picture that he's simply not good enough, as you say. I I think there was a lot of complaints of Maresca's style of play. Fans have right to have say about it, but when it's getting results, they don't say the same. No, because football's results driven. You know, you can not like a style of play, but if you're getting results, it's very hard to moan about it. Sanchez does need to go. Agreed. I don't know if Sanchez is better than Jorgensen. We haven't really seen Jorgensen given a proper chance. We haven't really seen Philip Jorgensen be given a proper chance in goal. He's played a handful of Premier League games, and obviously he's played in the Conference League. Had some good games, had some not so good ones, but yeah, we haven't really established how good he is. We haven't really established how good Jorgensen is. Petrovic has to be number one. I agree. I mean, West Ham won't sign Sanchez. In the last 6-7 games, Sancho's playing good football. Yeah, for 25 million for a squad player, I would absolutely keep Jadon Sancho. I would keep Sancho, guys. That's my stance on it now. I would keep Jadon Sancho. No doubt about it. Send Sanchez on loan if we can't sell him. I mean, do we want to take up 2 loan spots on goalkeepers? Maybe that's all right. I don't know. Maybe that's okay to do that. Maybe that's okay. But nah, realistically, it should be Penders on loan, and it should be Sanchez gone with Petrovic and Jorgensen competing for number 1. Simple as that. Jorgensen's 22. You know exactly what you're getting with Sanchez. Sanchez is not going to get any better. This is the level of Sanchez. Sanchez is getting no better, guys. Whereas Petrovic will continue to get better, and Penders will continue to get better, as will Jorgensen. This is it with Robert Sanchez. What you see right now is what you get. He's not getting any better. If anything, he's probably going to get worse. If anything, he's probably going to get worse, guys. So, yeah, we'll see on that. We'll see. But yeah, if anything, he will get worse. Any idea what's going on with Mudryk? No, basically. I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. There's been very little updates. Unrelated, but the set piece coach needs to go. Well, set piece coach has been, I've been a bit disappointed with set pieces this year, this season. Haven't seen the improvement I was expecting. It'd be a huge mistake to keep Sanchez. It'd be a huge mistake. No, he's not, bro. He's not. No, we don't want to waste Sanchez at Strasbourg, because Strasbourg's to go and improve someone's development. You know, you send younger players there. You know, we should be sending Penders there. Yeah, no, he did. No, he did do better. He's done better in the last few games. I'm not disputing that at all. He's absolutely done better the last few games, but it's not been good enough, has it, guys? Let's be honest. It doesn't change. It certainly doesn't change the bigger picture that Sanchez is just not good enough. That's the reality. How long has Sanchez got left on his contract? Oh, I'd imagine to at least 2028. You know, at least 2028, which is pretty grim thought. So yeah, no, I would keep Jadon Sancho. I think for £25 million or a rotational player, you're going to struggle to find a winger at that price with his quality. You know, so as long as he's not starting every single week as a squad player for that price, I think it's a very good deal. I think it's a very good deal. You know, I think it's a very, very good deal. On Sunday, Sancho's still passing the ball out to Liverpool instead of blue shirts. Yeah, no, bro, this is it. You know, that's never going to change with Sanchez. That's simply not going to change. Um, no, he won't demand a new contract with high salary. He's already agreed to a massive pay cut. He knows the situation at Chelsea. Um, exactly, exactly. You know, we shouldn't be under no circumstances should Chelsea be keeping Robert Sanchez. Literally under zero circumstances. And you know, if he's still the number one next season, I've got serious questions for the manager and the powers that be in general, because there's literally not one single situation where the guy on screen should be number one. Not one. Not one whatsoever. Yep, Esteval's joining after the Club World Cup. Yep, he is. It's important not to put too much pressure on him. He's going to be 18 years old, first time outside of Brazil. Yeah, we can't be putting pressure on him. Looks like an exceptional talent, but we got to ease him in gently. You got to ease him in gently. 100%. Can Pires and Penders play for Club World Cup and then send on loan? Yeah, Pires is expected to make his debut at the Club World Cup. I don't know whether that's the same for Penders, but Pires is absolutely expected to make his debut at the Club World Cup. 100%. No, you didn't. You did say Sanchez, didn't you? Let me scroll back up quickly. Oh, Sancho. Shit. Sorry, I misread that. Apologies, bro. Yeah, no. Yeah. So there we are, guys. Look, I don't think Chelsea need to sign a new goalkeeper as long as they make Petrovic the number one. You know, we can definitely go with Petrovic for number one next season. No issue with that at all. And then you reassess the goalkeeping market next summer. Haven't got an issue with that whatsoever. So let's wait and see. But unfortunately, with the decisions that we've made with goalkeepers at the football club, I've got no faith in the powers that be to make the right decisions here. No faith whatsoever. But let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what happens, guys. Let's quickly talk about Moises Caicedo, and then I wanted to talk about Chelsea's general decline in the Premier League. So there's a few things that people need to hear. So Chelsea plans to open talks with Moises Caicedo's camp over a new deal, as they're very happy with his impact this season. Negotiations have not started yet, and it will take some time as not an urgent topic. But the club plans to give Moises a new contract. I think it makes sense. Makes sense on every single level. The guy's an exceptional footballer, been absolutely outstanding this season. Obviously, he was player of the season, player of the season with Chelsea. He's been the best midfielder in the league by an absolute mile. No one is talking about his price tag now, and he's worth every single penny that we paid. Every single penny that we paid. And the contract extension makes the most sense. Like has happened with Nicholas Jackson and Cole Palmer. You get Caicedo, you offer him a new 2-year deal. You tie him down to 2033 at the football club. It makes sense. I think Cucurella as well is another one that would be deserving of a new contract, you know. Absolutely agree. I think Caicedo 100%, and it looks like that's going to happen at some point. But yeah, Cucurella, it would be another one. Makes absolute sense here. Makes absolute sense. Makes absolute sense. Well, look, I think it'll just be the same as it is now. Maybe a slight increase. I don't know. There's been no details yet on the contract. It's still very early stages, but it's just the plan is obviously to, is to reward him with a contract extension. I don't think you'll find any Chelsea fans that think that is not deserved, because it would be thoroughly deserved, people. Thoroughly deserved. What a guy. What a player. I mean, we'd be so lost without him. So lost. He's already under contract for a significant amount of time still. So I look, maybe at some point, but yeah, certainly not urgent. No, because Sane would be on a free, so that there would be no swap for a free agent. No swap for a free agent. Chat, keep smashing the like button as well, by the way. We're just shy of 100 in the building, but we're only on 62 likes. Let's get this up to at least 80 likes, people. Please smash the like button. It really helps me out more than you can imagine. Gets more eyes on the content. The more likes the content is, the more it gets boosted in the YouTube algorithm. So please do smash that thumbs up button, guys. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you're new around here as well. But let's run these likes up. Come on, guys. Whatever happened to Gaga? Wasn't he meant to be the next big thing? Yes, Lanina. Yeah, fucked really. He was on loan at Barnsley in League One. I think he broke his finger. He's come back to Chelsea. Yeah, not very much has happened with him at all. Yeah, he is. I wouldn't say Sane lacks work rate, but yeah, obviously compared to some wingers, he absolutely does. But yeah, look, Moises Caicedo, new contract. It's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Yes, brother. Am I coming to the second leg on Thursday? Yes, I will be there. Second leg on Thursday. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. That basically a dead rubber game. Already 4-1 up. I don't really know what it's going to be like. It's probably going to be a bit weird, but I'll be there. That's great news for Caicedo. Before our best player this season, deserved as a Wolves player. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. No questions asked whatsoever. Oh, mate, Elise's been an absolute joke this season. An absolute joke. He's been unbelievable. Every time I see him doing well, just a little part of me dies inside, because that should have been us with Elise, and we fumbled it 2 summers in a row. Honestly. I don't want to talk about that. Any new striker links? No new striker links. Delap's, I think we still seem to be favourites for Delap. Maybe we might look at Benjamin Sesko, Hugo Ekitike are names on the shortlist. I think Victor Osimhen is just not going to happen. I think he's going to end up in Saudi Arabia. And yeah, other than that, there doesn't really seem to be anything. Yes, all good. Thanks, brother. I hope you're doing well. Chelsea are going to go for Watkins. There was one report saying that it's not been substantiated any further by anyone more credible and in the know. But maybe Chelsea could look at Watkins. But I would be very, very surprised if that was to happen. But yeah, let's move away from that Caicedo news then, guys. And I want to dive into something. Give me a sec. I mean, it's his career. It's up to him. One thing I would say, right? One thing I would say is that it's a lot. The quality of the football is a lot better than what people make it out to be. I'm not saying it's top 5, top 6 leagues. It absolutely isn't. But the way people speak about it as if like it's absolutely terrible, it's a lot better than what people give it credit for. I've been out twice now. I've seen a few games. Just got back yesterday from being at the Asian Champions League. Like the quality is a lot better than what people think. And sure, someone like Osimhen should be playing for a top club in a top league in his prime. No doubt about it. But just from my personal experience, I'm just saying it's a lot better than what people are saying it is. I'm not saying it's amazing, but it's better than what people make it out to be. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, it's his career, it's his life. I've got no issue with players going there. If players want to go there, no problem whatsoever. You do you. It's your career, it's your life. You get one opportunity to make as much money as possible. Yes, he's already made a lot of money, but if he wants to go to Saudi Arabia, good luck to him. I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. Would I take KDB for a year or two? Probably not, no, because where he plays, we don't really need him. To be honest, I've not really been to any championship games. Like, it's a lot. It's obviously the intensity levels aren't quite there, but it's very technical. And it is a good standard. I mean, yeah, Osman to Turkey was a massive waste. But yeah, look, and this is the thing. Like, I'm never going to hate on players for making decisions in their career, because you've got one chance, one opportunity, and your career could be over the next day. You could suffer a career-ending injury, and that's and that's it. You're done. So I don't think I really don't get why people criticize players for taking certain moves. I don't get it. Sure, you'd be disappointed they've not come to the Premier League. Sure, you'll have you'll be thinking, oh, why have they decided to go there when they could have come to a bigger and better league? I get all that, but ultimately it's their life and they can do what they want. And so why should people criticize choices that others make? We hear all this, but I'm telling you now, I would not be shocked at all if Victor Osimhen ends up in Saudi this summer. David Ornstein has been saying that the word from within Premier League clubs that he's hearing is they expect Victor Osimhen to end up in Saudi. So there we go. Anyway, I want to bring this up because it's interesting in The Athletic, guys. In The Athletic, where is it? So, this here. This is Chelsea in the last 8 seasons, okay? The last 8 seasons. Now, we have not competed for the Premier League since we won it, okay? Everybody knows that. Everyone knows we've been nowhere near in the league since we won it. And yes, since we last won the league, we've won FA Cups, Europa Leagues, Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup. Okay, and under this ownership, we've won no trophies so far. Understood. But certain people will have you say that our drop-off in the league started since we got taken over. It's utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense. This right now, at 19 points, yeah, is the closest we've been to the top of the league since we won it. Now, obviously, there's still 3 games left, by the way. But right now, we're 3 points. So this is the closest we've been so far to the top of the league since we won it. So this idea where people say, oh, we've only dropped off in the league since the takeover is nonsense. Ever since we won the league, we have been miles off. 30 points, 26, 33, 19, 19, 44, 28 points last season, 19 points off the top so far this season. I'm not here doing praise for this ownership. I'm just here to set the record straight because it is factually incorrect and very disingenuous of people to suggest that our drop-off in the league only started 3 years ago. We've been shit in the league for 8 years now. Absolutely shite in the league for 8 years. So this is where I will defend the ownership to a certain extent, is when people make stuff up. Because our drop-off in the league has not coincided with Roman leaving. We were shit in the league for 5 seasons under Roman. We were nowhere near. We were a cup team. And yes, those trophies were fantastic, and I'm very grateful for them, of course. And we all love Roman. But what's funny is that people think it's an absolute crime against humanity to criticize Roman for anything. It's mental. This rot in the league began well before Clearlake. But between 2017 and 2022, we spent the same amount of money as Man City, guys. We won 3 trophies. We lost 5 finals. We didn't challenge for the title once. This rot began before Clearlake. And the trophies we picked up, they covered over the cracks. you know, and Clear Lake have done absolutely no better. But we've been shit in the league for ages. We have been poor in the league for a while now. For 8 years, we've been crap in the league. We've been absolutely nowhere near the Premier League title. Nowhere near it. That Sarri season was horrible. Yeah, but we still won the Europa League and came third. I mean, it's not a dreadful season, is it? It's not a dreadful season. Late Romans recruitment was the worst ever. Yeah, bro, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But when you say that, people think you're people think you're hating on Roman. And it's like, oh my God, you can't say anything bad about him. You have to be fair and balanced when giving an argument and having a conversation or an opinion. You can't just overlook the negatives because you don't want to. You don't want to acknowledge them. The cold, hard facts are here. We have been shit in the Premier League for 8 years. Nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near challenging or winning the title since 2017. Nowhere near. So why is there this common consensus amongst Chelsea fans that the rot's only set in under Clear Lake? It's not true. Simply not true. I just wanted to clear that up because it's just nonsense when people say that. It really is. We're a cup team at least. What are we now? Sure, we're a cup team, but we were a cup team. We've been a cup team for 8 years. We've been a cup team for 8 years. There's no denying that whatsoever. We have been a cup team for 8 years now, and it doesn't really look like changing. We should win the Conference League. But yeah, we're not going to win a title next season. We need to be challenging next season, in my opinion, and our recruitment will dictate whether we're going to do that or not. But we need to be challenging next season, and the recruitment will dictate that. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there because there's just this idea that we've suddenly become shit in the league in the last 3 years. Look, only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah, look, obviously, Roman's methods were becoming a bit dated, I suppose. Really, the recruitment was poor in these last few years. We're nowhere near league titles, and yeah, not the best. And that model was absolutely outdated. There's no denying it. No denying it whatsoever. But I just wanted to put that out there just to clarify that we've been a cup team for 8 years. We've been shocking in the league for 8 years now, and it's just really important that people realize that. It's really important that people realize that. Really, really important. See us winning the title in 5 years. I've got no idea where we're going to be in 5 years. Absolutely no idea whatsoever where we might be in 5 years. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, not just to kind of dispel this myth that people think we've become shit under this ownership in the league, but also just to show how long it's been since we actually competed for the league title. And this season so far is the joint closest we've been to the top of the league winners since we last won the title. It's mad. So yeah, there we go. I don't get it. And I don't know when we're next going to challenge for the league. Yeah, bro, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. What Tuchel did is basically saved the last 5 years of the Roman era, really. Oh yeah, 100% we were, 100%. But yeah, I just thought it was important to bring that up. Now, look, we might finish more than 19 points off the top. No, I'm talking about the last 8 years because it's been 8 years since we won the Premier League. That's the point. That's the point. You know, and bro, you're obviously a classic example of someone who literally refuses to acknowledge anything that was bad under Roman. We all love Roman at Chelsea, but let's not bury our heads in the sand and pretend that we've been amazing under him. Absolutely, we had unprecedented success, and we're forever grateful for him. But we've been shit in the league for 8 years, and 5 of those, the last 5 years under him in the league, we were miles off it. It's okay to criticize him. It doesn't mean you don't like him. You know, I don't understand where this idea comes from that you can't say a single bad word about things that happened under Roman. I don't understand. Potentially, look. I mean, I think you might need a bit more than just Osimhen, but yeah, you could definitely make a case for it for sure. You could definitely make a case for it. I would agree. Football changed insanely since 2002 and 2013. You can't compare the 2002 to 2013 era with the. No, I agree. I agree on that. That is very true. Football's so different in those first, let's say, 10 years that Roman was there compared to the last 10 years. You know, it's got very, very different. And that's why, you know, this hiring and firing model doesn't work in football. You don't see teams doing it anymore because it doesn't work. And this is not a shitting on Roman exercise at all. It's just purely pointing out that this idea that we've just become shit in the league over the last 3 years under this ownership is not true. And we've been poor in the league for 8 years now. We've been nowhere near the title since challenging for it. We've been since winning it last. We've been nowhere near. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to cover. I just wanted to say that about where we are right now. No, but the recruitment was awful. We had some awful windows. You win the Champions League and you just sign Lukaku. You sign Lukaku and Saul on loan and Bettinelli. That's not a serious transfer window for a team that's just won the Champions League. That could have been an opportunity to crack on and win another league title, and we didn't take it. We didn't take it. So there we go. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I'd like to think in the next 3 or 4 years, but that's going to very much depend on the recruitment. You know, that's going to depend on the recruitment. If we get the recruitment right, I think we can win the league in the next 2 or 3 years. But if we have another shit window like the last 2 windows, then it could be a very, very long time. Nah, bro, this is not a whole City shirt. This is an N'Golo Kante Al Ittihad shirt. This is not a whole City shirt. This is a Kante shirt, basically. When will Chelsea win the league? Oh, I've just done that. Roman didn't want to buy. Roman wanted to transition to academy. That's why we bought less. I mean, I don't know if that is or isn't the case. We'll win the league before Arsenal do. To be fair, I've said that before, and I still think that's a possibility. I still think we could win the league before Arsenal. I really do think that. Yeah, Ross Barkley and Danny Drinkwater transfers were peak. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you look back at some of the stuff, and it's a madness, isn't it? It is a madness when you think about it. But yeah, these things happen. Um, no, I don't know. I've been twice recently. I've been twice recently. I've got mates out there. It's good. It's great. You know, I can't say anything bad. You know, the football is nowhere near as bad as what people think it is. And yeah, you know, I always have a great time when I'm there. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was my second home, no, but yeah, I have been twice recently, and I will go again at some point. But obviously, the football season's coming to an end, so yeah, I probably won't be going again until the end of the year. I wouldn't have thought. Signing Lukaku for 100 M's was a big mistake. Well, you can say it was a big mistake now, but I think at the time, I wouldn't have said it was a big mistake at the time. I was kind of on board with that. I was on board with that. You know, obviously you can look back now and say that was a massive mistake, but at the time, I don't think that Lukaku. I never at the time we signed Lukaku. It was like, oh, it's a lot of money, but I didn't look at it as a mistake. Um, well, maybe we've got to get into the competition first. So yeah, that's always interesting, that, isn't it? We've got to get into the competition first. Guys, we're on 83 likes. Let's get this to 100 likes if we can. Please keep smashing that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. All the good stuff. But let's run these likes up, guys. We're almost at 100. Let's get ourselves there. Let's get ourselves there, people. Yeah, it's not very good. Very good. Weather's great. People are very great. Zero crime, safe. Yeah, I can 100% see why players are attracted to go there. Obviously, the money is a massive thing as well, but the lifestyle is very enjoyable. But that's just my opinion and my experience. You know, for what I think is enjoyable, other people might not. But from my point of view and my personal experience, it's very enjoyable, and it's a great way of life for sure. No, exactly. You absolutely couldn't, bro. You absolutely couldn't. Let me have a look if there's any more stuff, any more news that has come in, guys. Let's have a quick check. Let's have a quick check. I don't think there is. Yeah, what a guy, what a player. Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely outstanding footballer. Yeah, bro, this is the most important summer since this ownership came in. What we do this summer will dictate the direction we're going to go in as a football club over the next few years. It will dictate the direction we're going to be going in. Simple. Simple as that. Yeah, I agree. We've got to rest players for Sunday. I 100% agree on that. So, yeah, let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see on that front, 100%. No, we're not going to be doing that. That's never going to happen. I mean, we've been blessed with outstanding players. You could put Michael Essien in there as well. What a player he was! Unbelievable player. But yeah, guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in this afternoon. Chat, it's good to be back. Good to be back streaming again. I will be back again tomorrow with another live show, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. Should be the same time, 1 p.m. Let's see what the next 24 hours has got in store for us. As always, people, big love for all the support in the chat. Big yourselves up. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday afternoon. And yeah, see you again tomorrow, guys. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.